Hello everybody, welcome back to episode number 4 of Adam the Server. We're going to have a great meal today. We're going to do a homemade lasagna. At the end we're going to have a quick little dessert like we do at the end of every episode. So you have a great, well-rounded meal for your family. And today we're going to kick it off right now. Alright, so we're going to do this in a few steps. First step is going to be the meat. Second step, ricotta. We've already got the noodles cooked. We cooked them to a slight al dente because they're going to cook a little more in the oven when they're in the pan with the sauce baking. And so we're going to kick it off right now with cutting the onion. So we've got a shallot here. We've talked about this in past episodes. I like shallots because they've got a little bit more of a gentle taste opposed to say a white onion. So I'm going to just get this all ready to go here. I've got my pan over here getting nice and hot. We're going to get the shallot in here. We're going to do what we usually do. We're going to cut it like this. We're going to do 3 cuts here. We're going to do cuts here. Look at that. Look at that shallot. It's got a beautiful color to it. It reminds me of the evening sky just before dawn. There we go, look at that. We're slicing through. I use this little cutting board to cut if I'm cutting garlic or if I'm cutting onions, so that I don't use my main cutting board, so that I don't transfer the flavors of onion and garlic to all the other things I make. So it's nice to have this little cutting board on hand just to do little stuff like this. Okay, so that's all done, nicely finely diced. Chef term, diced. We're just chopping it up. Here we go, hot pan. There we go. Decently in there, getting a nice little sizzle on. You get my favorite pink spatula. There we go. So what you want to do, you want to cook this to a nice translucent, so it's just going to happen instantly, really. There we go, so that's going. Then we're going to take our meat, we're going to add our meat to the pan, lean ground beef. So we don't want too much fat. You can get extra lean, which has 0 fat. You can get just ground beef, which has a higher fat content, but lean ground beef has the perfect amount of meat to fat ratio. So you'll see when we get to the point of the meat being fully brown, you'll see that the amount of fat that comes out of the meat. So I'm going to get this going. I'm going to start seasoning as soon as I break this up a little bit. Lasagna is one of my favorite dishes. Throughout my entire childhood, every birthday, I asked my mom to make me lasagna because I find it so perfect. One square of food. It's got your carbohydrates, your vegetables, your proteins, all in one little meal there, and I absolutely love it. So we're going to take our seasonings here. Paprika, organic paprika. Again, paprika is a red pepper that's been dried and powdered. Simple as that. Paprika does not have heat. Paprika has flavor. So you can add paprika, not worrying about the heat content, because the heat won't add heat to the dish. It just adds flavor. Thyme is great in Italian food. Also, you can use oregano, whatever you have on hand. But nice generous seasoning. And like I do in every single dish, not Cajun, just a touch of Cajun in there. Got the flavor, smokiness, greatness, salt, and of course, pepper. That goes in every single thing we always do, salt and pepper. Look at that. There we go. We're going to get this nice and brown. It's going to take a few moments, so what we're going to do is brown this meat with the seasoning and the onions. And then when I come back to you is when we're going to add the tomatoes. Here we go. All right, so now we've got the beef brown. We've got the onions in the pan. We've got the herbs and spices. Now we're going to add the tomatoes. So first off, before we add the tomato, we're going to do this. We're going to take the beef. We're going to push it back on the pan. We're going to let the fat drain out. We don't want this fat in the dish. It'll totally alter the way the dish tastes and feels. And nobody wants to put all that fat into a dish, and you don't want to eat that. So what I got here, this is my technique. So I take it here, take it off the heat. I'm just going to put paper towels in to absorb it. Some people take it off, strain it, But you don't need to take all that beef out, all that fat out, just the majority of it out. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take that out, just kind of get this around. It gets a little warm. You might want to use some tongs. I mean, I don't have chef hands, so I'm not gonna be able to touch this, but here we go. So see that? Almost all that fat is absorbed. I'm just gonna get rid of this over here. Okay, now we got this. Put this back on the heat. Adam and the server techniques. We're always trying to find a way to cut to the next step without trying to overdo it. We're gonna take tomato sauce. So the reason why I didn't put garlic in the pan at the beginning is because I got roasted garlic flavored tomato sauce. Therefore, it saves me another step. I don't have to mince, chop garlic, or buy a tube of garlic to squeeze in. So I'm just gonna add this to here. You can always just take a little shot of water, get some of that out. There we go. And just because I have this in my fridge, this is pizza sauce, so I'm gonna add this to it as well. So some people actually will add ketchup, like there's certain techniques you can add ketchup for a little bit of sweetness. They've all got different kind of herbs and spices. Pizza sauce probably has basil in it, has different herbs. So I'm gonna add some pizza sauce as well, just for a little thickness and a little extra dose of flavor. Okay, so that's in. Then I'm gonna add the basil. So this is the basil from my basil plant. It looks dark in color because the fact it's frozen. I froze it. We grew that on the patio in the summertime. Took the plant, plucked all the leaves, froze it. Now I can use that fresh basil throughout the winter. So we're gonna get that all mixed up. There we go. So we want this nice and saucy. It's gonna reduce down, and it's gonna be great layers on our lasagna. So now I'm at this stage right here. I'm gonna reduce this sauce down, and then what I wanna do, bring it up to a simmer or a slight boil, and then once it boils a little bit, I'm gonna add fresh spinach. So what I've done already over here is I've taken the stems off and I've washed my spinach. A lot of people, when they make lasagna, they'll do frozen spinach. You gotta take it, you have to thaw it, and then you have to drain all the water out. I like to just do it like this, and I take whatever spinach I feel I'll need, and I just wilt it down within the sauce. If you think you're putting too much in, you're not, because spinach really just absorbs the sauce and wilts down, and it almost looks like nothing. And it adds so much flavor, and then it hides vegetables in the dish that your kids won't even know are there. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna get the spinach in the dish. We're gonna have this bring to a slight boil, let the spinach wilt, let the sauce reduce, and then when I come back, we're gonna assemble a lasagna. It's gonna be fantastic. Hey, here we go. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get our ricotta ready. So right here we've got one container, 250 milliliters of ricotta, and then 1 egg in there. So the reason why you put an egg in the ricotta is if you don't, the ricotta will be too oozy. Is that a word? Oozy, not the gun, not like a machine gun oozy, but too oozy. It'll ooze out of the lasagna. So if you put an egg in there, the egg will cook with the ricotta, and it'll make it more dense, and it'll stay in that layered form of the lasagna. So here we go. We're gonna get that mixed in, and then we're gonna add a little seasoning, like we do to every single step. I can't say it enough. Every step we take, every move we make, we season. So Parmesan. Who doesn't love Parmesan? Server life. We're using a bottle of Parmesan cheese. We're not gonna go grate Parmesan cheese, no need. Pepper. Salt. Look at, oh, give it a little swizzle over here. Look at that beaut. That's looking nice, see? Look at that spinach. It's all wilted down, mixed into the sauce. Once you layer that within the lasagna, it's all just gonna be perfect layers. It's gonna look delicious. Your kids are gonna eat it. They're not even gonna know they're eating spinach. They're gonna be all healthy at the end. Kind of, what we do as parents. We don't force them to eat vegetables. We trick them into eating vegetables. So this is our ricotta mix. And that is ready. That looks so good. Now, here's our pan. We're gonna start with a layer of sauce on the bottom. I might do a little step here. I'm gonna take a cloth. I'm gonna get a little shot of olive oil in the bottom of the pan, just a little dollop like that. The reason why I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna smear this all around the pan like this, because once it's all cooked and baked, then it's not gonna stick heavily to the pan. You're gonna be able to take it off, serve it up perfectly, serve it up. No pun intended. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna start with a layer of sauce. I'm gonna put this in the bottom. I'm gonna take some meat and some sauce. So I'm just gonna spread that along. Look like that, because we're gonna do a couple layers here with 2, maybe 3 layers, probably 3 layers. Okay, it's gonna get a little messy, but don't worry about it. We can clean it up. So I'm gonna put that on the bottom. If you put the noodles on the bottom, the noodles will be glued to the pan. So you want your layer of sauce first. So I got my sauce, then I've got my noodles, cooked them for 9 minutes in rapidly boiling water. And it just so happens that this pan is a perfect size for the noodles I bought. So we're gonna spread these out. And make sure when you take the noodles out, and before you put them in a bowl like this, you have to put olive oil on them. If you don't, they're gonna clump together and you're not gonna be able to peel them apart. See, these all come apart nicely. So the reason why they do is because I put olive oil on them. If you don't do that, you're gonna have a big clump of noodle and it's gonna be really frustrating. Okay, so there we go. Take a look at that first layer. Looking good. So now, layer number 2. Making a lasagna, a delicious lasagna. So, I know my singing's back, sorry. When I get cooking, I get happy. I love cooking, love making delicious food. Now on this layer is gonna be my ricotta layer. So, I've got pasta sauce and meat on the bottom. I've got a layer of noodles. I've got another layer of sauce. Now I'm gonna do my ricotta mix. So I'm only gonna do ricotta on one layer. So I'm just gonna spread this out. So the ricotta has a tartness, another cheese, just so much delicious flavor. So it's just gonna be on this one layer. Looking good. So I'm gonna spread this out. I'm gonna finish layering. Let me just spread that out. Ricotta, 1 egg, salt, pepper, Parmesan. So that's gonna be right in the middle. Now, back to some noodles. Boom. How many noodles? We're gonna put 3. 1, 2, and a 3. Now, we're gonna go back to our sauce. So I'm gonna do one more layer. So, I mean, you can do this any which way you want. You can put a little bit, a lot of it. I made that word up, a lot of it. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do one more layer of noodles. And then we're gonna start getting into the cheese. Okay, one more noodle layer. Here we go. See how they come apart nice and easy out of the bowl here. So we're gonna do one more. And we're gonna do meat. And then we're gonna get into the cheese. Best part. Okay, so that's all of our meat. So I'm gonna spread this out. So we've got lots of meat. We've got the whole pound of ground beef in here. We've got ricotta. The top layer is not gonna be a lot of meat because this is where I'm gonna go with the cheese. So now I'm gonna go super heavy on the cheese because everybody loves the nice, oozy, gooing cheese on top of the lasagna. My favorite part is that corner bit where it gets nice and crunchy in the oven. So you get that crunchy cheese. It's just so amazing. So what I did here, pre-grated cheese, serving it up. We're not chefing it up, we're serving it up. And with that, we're gonna get a 4 cheese combo. Provolone, pizza mozzarella, Romano, Emmental. Delicious combination. I'm not gonna go buy 4 blocks of cheese and grate all of them. Why would I do that? You know, I'm serving it up. Now we're gonna go heavy on the top layer. Like I'll probably use half this bag. I'm gonna make this so good. We're gonna keep it coming. Look at that. Keep it going. Oh, we're almost done the whole bag. You know what? Screw it. The whole bag. Living it up. Now I'm gonna put this on here, spread it out nice and evenly. This is gonna be so good. Get that in. Make sure if you have the noodles poking up, I don't like that because the noodles get too crunchy and hard. So I like to, if I have a noodle poking up on the edge like that, I'm gonna poke it down and I'm gonna bring the cheese over because that hard crunchy noodle that you can't bite through, I don't enjoy that. So that, for me personally, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna finish it off with a little Parmesan on top. Just a little bit. I just don't want to put a ton on because we already have 4 cheeses. We don't need too much of the 5th. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put a little touch of pepper on top, just for extra seasoning. There we have it. We got our beef lasagna. How easy was that? We assembled that super quick. All the ingredients came together. We're gonna put that in the oven, 350, for about 45 minutes. When I come back, we're gonna plate this. I'm gonna show you my super quick dessert. And we're gonna have an awesome meal. Let's do it. All right, we're back. The lasagna is cooked. We're gonna blast off our quick dessert here. Check this out. So, cocoa powder, and this is actually Aunt Jemima pancake batter mixed with this right over here. 1 cup of milk, 1 egg, and I put a couple drops of vanilla in. So check this out. This is a super quick, fast, and super fun dessert. I'm gonna get this going. And look at our batter here. Taking shape. If you have a whisk, this definitely makes it a lot easier for you. My pan's heating. I got butter in the pan. Always butter in a pan for dessert. Never olive oil. There we go. Looking pretty good. If the batter looks a touch thin, like I feel it does right now, I'm gonna get some more of my pancake mix. I'm just gonna put a sprinkle in, just adjust, because you know what? We're just figuring it out as we go. I made this dessert up on the fly. I didn't buy any ingredients, I just figured out what I had in my house. And I just figured, let's just give it a shot. Here we go. When you get my pan hot, my butter on there, the batter is coming in. Let's just get it here, it's gonna be like a crepe. I'm just gonna do one at a time. We're gonna cook it, and then we're gonna assemble a dessert. So it should wait till the bubbles come through the pancake. You want to see maybe a little bit of brownness around the edges, but once you start to see that, then you know your pancake's gonna be done. Or, in this case, our chocolate crepe. It's a French term. Look over here. Oh wow, look at that. We got the brownness on the lasagna. It's cooling down. If you let it cool down, the layers solidify, stick together, and basically your lasagna is setting right now. So we got our dessert here, it's coming together. I'm gonna get a plate. Again, quick dessert in here. A little bit of butterscotch. I had this in my fridge. Again, I'm just creating, I'm serving it up. I'm gonna put that 15 seconds in the microwave. It allows me to pour and drizzle it over there. Here we go, look at bubbles in the middle. Put it over top. Look at that, we got a chocolate crepe right here. Our butterscotch is ready. I'm gonna put a drizzle of butterscotch on the plate right here. Just like so. Oh, wow. Can't go wrong with that. We got our chocolate crepe cooking. It's gonna be so good. Again, chocolate drink mix, pancake mix, vanilla, 1 egg, and a little bit of milk. It's just that easy. Takes no time at all. There we go. We're gonna put this on top of our butterscotch. And then we're gonna finish with what we have. Serving it up. Our usual dessert condiment, whipped cream. And that's as simple as I can do it. Butterscotch, chocolate pancake, whipped cream. I'm gonna plate up this. I'm gonna dig into here. Let me just shift these around so you can see how delicious we got this lasagna. Let me get to the corner piece, which is my favorite. Look at that. Oh man, look at the cheese, the meat, the noodles. at that. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Should probably get this element on. And there we have it. Another serving up creation. Delicious meat, spinach, ricotta cheese, 4 different Italian cheeses, lasagna. We're gonna finish it off with a chocolate pancake with butterscotch sauce and whipped cream. Again, a delicious meal for your family. Make sure you create this and just enjoy it. We're serving it up. We're not chefing it up. And remember, one last touch. I had this in the fridge. Put that in there. Put this in the oven under broil. I didn't make this. I bought this from the store because I'm serving it up. Throw this on here. A little garlic toast. Makes everything absolutely complete. Enjoy.